Okay, let's discuss these questions related to the lesson that we have discussed previously. The following concept map prepared for a grade 8 student, fill the blanks using a suitable words. So here, so the first one is basically through stomata, the diffusion. So through diffusion, what will happen? Right here, what will happen here? And then here, through hair roots or root hairs, basically osmosis. Osmosis means basically another way, diffusion through a semi-transparent, or not semi-transparent, what do you call semi-transparent membrane. If it is coming through a membrane, then that is osmosis. And absorption, here this is like you have to fill these blanks, right? You have to fill in the blanks using suitable words. Okay, so what is suitable for this one? Diffusion one. Yes. What is suitable for the diffusion one? Is it that you have done it? Isn't that so?
No, sir.
No. Oh.
Yes.
I thought that you have done this because like this was given last week, right? Anyway, I just want to, okay, okay, no, okay, doesn't matter. But tell me, what should be there? So these are the factors needed for photosynthesis. What are the factors needed for photosynthesis? You know, light energy is one thing. Then?
Chlorophyll.
Chlorophyll is needed, but it is not absorbed.
Carbon dioxide.
Yeah, it's carbon dioxide. Here you can say carbon dioxide. From the air, carbon dioxide absorbed. Okay, then here? So osmosis happens through which tissue? Which is the tissue used for osmosis? There's another component needed, another thing that needed for the photosynthesis. What is that? Other than the carbon dioxide, you need another one. That is?
Water.
Water. Okay, water absorbed through the root hairs. Through what?
Through.
Starting with X letter.
Xylem.
Xylem. Okay.
Xylem tissue.
Okay, xylem. Then here photosynthesis. Then what the next is basically light energy is absorbed by you can say chlorophyll. There, chlorophyll is basically absorbing the light energy. Then chlorophyll, carbon dioxide, water will do the photosynthesis. Those are the facts needed. Okay, what are the products? There are two products.
Glucose. And oxygen.
Okay. And oxygen. Oxygen contributes to which process? Yes, respiration, right? Oxygen will contribute for respiration. And another product is glucose. Glucose will turn into can be identified with iodine. So what? Glucose will turn into starting with the phase. Starch, right?
Yeah.
Pishtene, the pishtene hadin. So then that will be transported. Actually, that will be with the iodine. If you color with iodine, so what color you can see?
Blue. Blue color.
Blue color. So it will turn into blue color with iodine, right? Because it's okay. So that is basically the first question. So there are some more questions. I think you can answer them. Okay, I will keep it for you because you have not answered. After maybe next week you have to do this, right? So don't these things. Next week you have to do this. Okay.
Okay.
Next lesson is life cycles of living organisms. Life cycles of living organisms. That is our next lesson. Wait. Life cycles of living organisms. So you can write down the heading. It's life cycles of living organisms.
Okay, sir.
Okay. So first of all, we have to identify why it is called a cycle. Why it is called a cycle. Basically, most of the things that we see in the world are cycles, are cyclic processes. It happens again and again. So do the lives. So do the lives of animals and plants, etc. Any living thing. It is a cyclic process. It also has several steps and happens cyclically. Right. So there are set of steps that an animal or plant or any living being goes through. Right. Set of sequence of event, the stages. Basically, a living organism passes from its birth to death is called its life cycle. Okay. So here you can see clearly identified stages: frog, rat, cockroach, and mosquito. They are having different. So we are going to analyze their stages of life cycle under this lesson. And also the plants. Plants are also having a life cycle. Not just the animals, plants are also the microorganisms. Only thing is, those are not really visible to us because the organisms are micro level. Okay. So this is very easy. If you go to maybe a well or some like watery area, most of the time you can see eggs of frogs, and they basically lay eggs into some wet surface because otherwise it will be dry, right? Then it will be turned into fish-like intermediate thing. Actually, this intermediate thing is basically called, it's given a name, right? What's the name? What is the name given to this intermediate stage? Yes? Can you remember? Have you seen them in water? They are living in water, right? They are living in water.
Tadpole?
Sorry?
Tadpole?
No.
So TADPOLE නෙමෙයිද?
Tadpole. Right. Tadpole. Yeah, that is correct. You can call them tadpoles. I heard something else. Maybe due to like I'm not suffering from cold and fever and cannot hear properly and cannot talk to. It's very difficult, right? Then these eggs are there as a egg mass. Basically, it's not just single egg, a set of eggs. Then tadpoles, they are basically swimming in water, and then it will be turned into a young frog and finally to an adult frog. So that is the conversion. Actually, frog, it can live in both water and in the land. But here, so that is the specialty of frog's life cycle. Part of its life cycle is in water, completely in water. And the other part in the land and water. So one part is completely in the water. So unlike other animals that you can see here, also mosquito. Mosquito is also having the same situation because they lay eggs on water and some water surfaces, and then they also pass one stage of their life cycle in water. What is that state? Yes, what is that state? We call that, yes, Actually, there are two names. Basically, we can call that larva or larva. LARVA. Larva.
Yes.
Oh, so we can call that. Actually, there are two stages. They lay eggs in water and then
Love.
single and can keep it. So then this larva formed, and then you have pupa, PUPA. That is the next stage, and then the mosquito comes. Right. Actually, these mosquitoes are flying. They are in air, and this stage in basically in water. Okay, please write down. So let's write down these things. Compare life cycles of the following. Let's write down the names. Adult frog. Can you draw, or you can just maybe roughly draw, right?
Okay.
Adult frog. Egmas. Step ones. Okay, for the mosquito. Again, eggs. It seems eggs, right? Eggs. An adult mosquito.
Okay, sir.
Okay, what about cockroach? Here again, eggs, right? They
Yes.
also like eggs. It's only, so you can say one or multiple eggs. So there are many sometimes. Then
Name.
and the adult cockroach. That all, no need to write down that. Then what about rat? Rat is rat, right? Rat is rat still. Maybe rat babies. So they are not like, so basically they are not changing. They are not changing from the initial initial morphological features and the adult morphological features. So all are all are same.
Okay, sir.
Okay, let's move to the next part. Shall I erase?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. So then, as I said, not only the animals, even the plants are having life cycle similar to that, starting from the seed, the small plant, the big plant, or the tree, right? Likewise, it also has a life cycle stages. Okay. So then, so one thing that you can see in the life cycle of animals, we basically distinguish here also. Some animals are having different morphological features, but some are having same kind of morphological features, but it will be advanced. So you can see here, butterfly, frog, cockroach, mosquito, and these animals, right, with different morphological forms of stage, right? You can see, so these animals are passing different morphological forms of stages. Morphological means the physical characteristics. But some animals, you can see, rat and human, they are basically just passing. So they are also having the morphological differences, but the thing is the initial format and initial features will be advanced through the life cycle, right? Okay, here, see, you would have noticed that there are no different morphological from the different stages of rat and human. But no different morphological forms, but like morphological forms, that is true. But still, you can see like maybe fingers of baby and fingers of adult. It's same, but there are broad differences, right? So don't misunderstand that the baby and man is not same, but you can see basically the basic shape is advanced, but so mostly it's identical. Mostly it's identical, but the basic shape is subjected to growth, so it will be. But so if you see the cockroaches, butterflies, mosquitoes, and frogs, in some stages they are not the particular animal. We can identify them as two animals sometimes. If you don't know properly, you will think initially. Actually, in my childhood, I thought this is a different animal. It's a different animal, and so different animal. Because when you see in different stages, you can see them as two animals, but it's not. Basically, they are passing, right, some morphological transformations here. While so morphological changes in different stages of the cockroach, butterfly, mosquito, frogs, they are passing different morphologicals. Okay, so shall we write down them here in the table quickly? You can also write down the pencil. So who are passing different stages, different morphological stages? That is, yes.
Butterfly, frog,
Even flies, right? Butterfly, fly, frog,
frog, cockroach,
cockroach. Okay,
mosquito.
mosquito. But rat and human, the other side. Rat, cat, right? Cat, rat, dog, human. Basically, they are mammals. But these are insects. That is another categorization. They are insects and these are mammals. That is some other difference. Okay.
Okay, sir.
And this is what I said. You can notice the growth of human, but the thing is that still the features you can see one head, two hands, two legs, right? It will be there in the adult as well as the baby. That is what I said. Okay. Then okay. These organisms, another speciality is these organisms or these animals, basically, they are hatched from eggs, right? They are starting their life cycle with an egg, right? So basically, this is common to most of these what do you call insects, or they are in the group of arthropods. So that is common to them. Most of the time they are starting with eggs, right? So can you name a few more? Can you name a few more? So other than what we discussed previously, can you name a few more animals like who hatched from eggs? Yes.
Frog.
Sorry. Frog.
Frog.
Yes, we discussed that. I'm asking other than them.
Grasshopper.
Yeah, that is also there in the book. Okay, the correct. Then flies. Okay, house flies. Yeah.
Bee.
Bees. Bees. Ants.
What's that?
Ants. Kumbi. Then so easy to tell, right? Spiders. Have you seen spiders?
Yes.
They are also right. Okay, so you can easily remember them. They are around us.
Yes.
Right. Basically, these insects and also these amphibians. Insects and amphibians are showing complete metamorphosis. What is metamorphosis? Metamorphosis. The morphological features. Metamorphosis is about the morphological features. What is a metamorphosis? Maybe in singular. Metamorphosis. Yes.
රූපාන්තරණය.
රූපාන්තරණය. එතකොට complete metamorphosis කියලා කියන්නේ පූර්ණ රූපාන්තරණය. කියන්නේ යාට පුළුවන්, that means the like adult shape, adult morphological features are completely different from the creatures hatched from the eggs. From the creatures hatched from the eggs. එතන බිත්තර වලින් එළියට එන එක නා adult ගේ shape එකට වැඩිය සම්පූර්ණයෙන් වෙනස්. So we call that a complete metamorphosis. Basically, that is they are in amphibians and insects, but basically insects. Insects show complete metamorphosis. Right, you can see eggs, and after that, like in mosquitoes, they are showing complete metamorphosis. But sometimes, the one hatch, like coming out from the eggs, hatch from the eggs, having some similarities to the initial, like the adult one. So example, you can see from here, who has similarity to the adult? Yes. So this one is like, is it like, can you see this is much similar to adult, right? Much similar to adult. But this and this, it's not. And even these caterpillars and butterflies. So they are not similar, right? Caterpillar and butterfly, are they similar? Are they look same?
No.
There are differences, right? Have you seen how a butterfly come out from, like how caterpillar turns into a butterfly?
Yes, sir.
There are videos. You can just browse. Okay. So then the animals. Okay. So who saw the complete metamorphosis? Give me examples. Complete metamorphosis. පූර්ණ රූපාන්තරණයක් පෙන්වන්නේ කවුද?
Frog.
Yes.
Frog.
Okay, we can consider frog. Butterfly. Mosquito.
Mosquito.
Okay, mosquito. Okay, so those are some examples. But the trochochelous, right? Trochochelous basically showing, right? Trochochelous showing incomplete, right? Incomplete metamorphosis. Trochochelous showing incomplete metamorphosis. Okay, you can write down the examples in front of that. So no need to write down a big note. Just in front of that, you can use a pencil and write down the examples very quickly. Do it.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Just give me a second. Okay, let's write the differences between the complete and incomplete metamorphosis very quickly. Right. So what's the difference between a complete and incomplete metamorphosis? Incomplete metamorphosis, basically, we can see egg, larva, pupa or pupil, and the adult phase. That is what you can see. But normally, egg to adult is basically no significant changes from egg to adult. Then actually, it's gradually changing. So we can say it's incomplete metamorphosis. Basically, that is there in trochochelous. But if you say fleas, ants, frogs, wasps, butterflies, they are undergoing complete metamorphosis. Just write down these points very quickly. Next page is showing how and how a tadpole is converted and or is becoming a frog, adult frog. Basically, there is a tail in a tadpole because it's swimming, no, it's swimming in the water, and it's like these eggs are basically, if you have seen, these eggs are like jelly type eggs. It's floated in water, and when it's like coming out from the hatched egg, and then it's similar to a fish, it's swimming in the water, so it has a tail, right? Because of it's actually it use gills to breathe. So similar to fish. Fish also having, like, fishes are also having gills, no? So here also, like, the tadpoles are also having gills. Then actually, as like how it get the nutrition. So basically, it take it's herbivorous and take aquatic plants, right? It's herbivorous and so innocent, right? Innocent child take herbivorous and taking aquatic plants. But after morphological changes, initially we cannot see we cannot see legs, or very small legs are there, but that will slowly, it will like slowly convert to, it will take some time. This is not why within 2-3 days like mosquitoes, but mosquitoes will only take only few days, right? But frogs will take sometimes weeks. So there, the tail will disappear, and it will ultimately become a frog. So what about frog? Is it herbivorous or carnivorous or omnivorous?
Herbivorous.
Herbivorous. Sure.
Yes.
Frog?
Mm.
Haven't you seen it in insects sometime? Okay, here completely you can see the frog. Adult frog is basically, sorry. Adult frog is basically having completely different set of morphological features, having legs, no tail, right? That is, and you can see they are insectivorous. So insectivorous means they are dependent on insects, right? That depends on insects. This is herbivorous initially, but later, right? Later the duality begin. So it will be like, so we can call, so carnivorous, because not depend on the flesh, basically, it's insectivorous because it's eating insects using its
Okay.
long tongue, right? I hope that you have seen in cartoons and all. That's
Yes,
a
sir.
very long tongue. Okay, depends on it. Then again, so here, butterflies. Butterflies are basically, they are herbivorous in their initial stage, and they are so this you have this practical, I think, in your science, grade 6 science, or sometimes in grade 5 even. Haven't you done this practical earlier? You have to find out a leaf where the eggs lies. Then
I have done, sir.
you have done. So using a paper, you have to cover a glass bottle and put a rubber band just to cover it. And after few days from these eggs, you can see tiny larvas is coming out. Basically, it's kind of caterpillar. And then, so it will depend on these leaves. You have to put few leaves because it's eating few leaves. And after that, it will be converted to pupa. And so it's creating small cover, complete cover to cover itself, right? And during, so it will stay in the, so it's without locomoting, without moving, it will stay after this stage, it will stay. And finally, after some time, you can see this adult butterfly coming out of. So that is basically the life cycle of butterflies. It's kind of like amazing thing, because like complete metamorphosis again, because you can see this one, the caterpillar is totally different from this one. You cannot even imagine, right? You cannot even imagine this will happen. Okay, here, this is the name given to the larva. It is caterpillar. Right, okay. So this cover that I said is called cocoon, right? So you can just put an arrow and show this is called. So in this period, during this period, it's not taking any kind of food. Stay inactively without feeding. Stay inactively without feeding. Within this duration, it's not taking anything. And there are morphological changes happening inside the cocoon, and finally it will come out from this. Okay, that is about the butterfly's life cycle. And here you can see the more details. What I have discussed earlier is basically here in this table. This is easy, but only thing is you have to remember some names. Right? Okay, then few more life cycles we have to discuss. Let's finish with the precocious life cycle, which is incomplete metamorphosis, showing incomplete metamorphosis with nymph. So again, after hatching the eggs, nymphs are emerged. You can see nymphs are very small, tiny. Most of the time, these tiny nymphs, sometimes like they are flying, but sometimes their activity is basically slower than the adult. Slower than the adult. But morphologically, both are having same features. Morphologically, both are having same features, and they are arthropodians. Because of that, you can see their legs, arms, legs, or all these are basically arthropodians. In Sinhala we call Sandhipadike. So they are basically these legs, arms, all are basically all are having lot of joints. It's basically by combining these joints, their body is created, and they are having complex size also. Right, you can see here. I said that so basically they are not having a very active body. The reason is they are not processing wings. And then actually the skeleton and the shape of body is changing, and finally they will become adults, and then at that time they can fly. Right? Okay, so that is very simple. Then actually we have to discuss about plant life cycles. And yeah, this part I will be discussing next day, because like I need few more notes to be added to this, and I have not prepared that today, and I'll be adding that and then do the remaining part next day. But we can finish it, but let's do with that note also, because a very small part is there. But anyway, let's finish with the note, because we have enough time. No need to be hurried. Otherwise, we are finishing one lesson per day is too fast. Okay, I'll do the class next day. Good day and good night.
Okay, sir. Good night, sir. Thank you, sir.